game.
Hands up all those who remember Emlyn Hughes, statue behind me. Remember him from captaining Liverpool in their European glory days, or Question of Sport. I can just about remember him. One of Barrow's most famous sporting sons is the statue behind him. Well, we did make it in the end. It took just under 6 hours yesterday on Friday to navigate the delights of the M6. And looking at the travels of Notts fans today, I think a few of them are going to be cutting it a little bit fine here at the So Legal Stadium, or if you're more of a traditionalist, Holker Road. Two teams today, I think we both need a win as much as each other. Neither side has got a win between them in League and Carabao Cup action so far. Barrow have lost both games. To be fair, tough ones against Chesterfield and MK Dons. They also went out to Preston in the Cup in midweek, while Notts were going out by the odd goal at Wigan. So Martin is still looking for his first win in senior action, and I guess after the defeat at home to Salford and the point from Newport, this is an important one, aren't they all? But given there's 2 home games coming up in the space of 4 days, later this week when we entertain Shrewsbury on Wednesday, and then welcome Bromley on Saturday. So let's see what we've got in order. Team news up shortly. Now, my dad came to Barrow in the 60s, and as you look around this ground, it might be hard to believe, but they used to have a speedway track around it. Lots of ibbing and bibbing since, and as you can see, the away end is, shall we say, limited views abound. Here's my view from road JC41 today, and as you can see, there's quite a few pillars, posts, you name it, in this temporary away stand. That may or may not be the best way to watch us, given the way we've played at occasions, but hopefully, obscured view or not, we'll be looking forward to what we're seeing. Team news is in. Martin Patterson makes 2 changes from the side that went out to Wigan. As expected, Matthew Dennis comes back in to lead the line in the number 9 slot. Also coming back is Kellen Gordon at the expense of Barry Cotter and Grant. Perhaps a little surprisingly, still no place for Matty Platt. He played against Salford in the league 7 days ago, but was left out on Tuesday. Again, he's only confined to the substitutes bench. Is this the formation that Martin Patterson and lineup looking for to get those much needed 3 points?
Here are today's team staff. This is about to count team. 1 is called Bruce. 2 is called Gordon. 3 is Donald.
Now then, Lippy Jane, what have you recently won?
A shirt, a not shirt.
Yeah, courtesy of the Magpie Circle, Lippy Jane won the competition in the week. Now, you normally buy shirts for the rest of your family, but not yourself.
Yeah, I've never ever owned a shirt. They're all absolutely amazed that I'm going to have one because I always buy them for the kids.
Yeah, well, we're delighted. You sent us a lovely letter, so thank you very much for that. So talk to us. Every game's an away game for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We live in Yorkshire, so we travel down on the train. And this week I'm staying for 4 or 5 days, so to get 2 matches in.
Now, your family, parents, grandparents, split loyalties, but you've come out on the right side.
Yeah, we've all of us, our generation, we're all Notts fans through and through. No Forest, but my mum used to go to Forest in the early days, but then she got a season ticket for Notts at the same time as my dad.
Now, subject the obvious, as Basil Fawlty would say. Why Lippy Jane?
Lipstick. Renowned for it.
Oh dear. What have you made of the start to the season?
I reckon we're going to be all right. There's lots of things, isn't there, that are controversial, and I don't want to be controversial, so I'm being positive. I think we're going to be all right, but I do think we need a bit of a striker, don't we?
Hey, AJ is back in 7 days' time.
Yeah.
Hey, Jane, thank you ever so much. Congratulations on winning the competition. And we look forward to you sending us a nice photo in that shirt.
That's fine, I will do. Thank you ever so much.
Horror show. Barrow 1, Notts County 0. Neither side without a win so far this season. It's Barrow in front. Tyler Walker giving Barrow the lead. Again, the goal come down the flanks from the left-hand side. A low cross in. And despite a valiant attempt by Calroos, the ball crossed the line for Walker to strike. Horror show, really, the opening 45. Notts have surrendered the ball far too easily. They've had precious few chances. And with fans having made up to a 6-hour journey and many coming up overnight on Friday, understandably there are already signs of frustration. To compound Notts' woes, Luca taken limps off with an injury. On has come Connor Grant. Opening 45 minutes, Barrow 1, Notts County 0. Make no mistake, this is poor. So out of 6 hours on the coach, was it worth it?
Well, it was until the 96th minute. I think performance-wise, again, it leaves a lot wanting. Going to Wigan on Tuesday, obviously saw you at Newport. As you say, in the minute, we're not getting the sequences right in the attacking areas, and we're just not really cutting teams open at the minute.
Is that an heroic defeat, or are there a lot of underlying trends that you're worried about?
I think a lot of underlying trends that I'm worried about. I think, to be honest, I thought we'd have robbed a point there. I think the goal that Matty Dennis has scored, got a good leap, but really we've not really created anything. And it's a good jump, decent cross, but that's all we've done.
How much do you read in? So it's 1 draw, 2 defeats. Are you one of those that players gel will be fine, or are you starting to get really worried?
Starting to get a bit worried now. Like, there's times where I think in previous seasons where we've been a bit unlucky on the ends of defeats. This one, I don't think we've been unlucky. I don't think we was unlucky against Salford. I don't think we was unlucky on Tuesday. I don't think we was unlucky today. I think on the basis of play, we didn't create enough. We didn't win the ball back good enough. The first half, we're giving away easily to the opposition.
People have talked a lot about identity. We seem to have seen a lot of changes. Matty Platt not starting, brought on in the second half. Other players playing in different positions. We're thinking Jody Jones. Players coming in, players going out. Your thoughts?
Confusing. I understand, Matty Platt getting dropped for Tuesday. It was a cup game. Again, confused that he didn't start today and then gets brought on the 60th minute. Confusing sort of decision. When you think of Matty Platt, you think of a leader on the pitch. Anything's happening straight over for his teammates. So bizarre sort of choice of that. Then you've got Jody Jones, who, we're having this number 10 experiment. He's the top assist maker from left wing back. So I get we've recruited quite a lot of wing backs, but I think it's not quite working. And then we seem to pass it around 2, 3, 4, 5 passes, and we go diagonally, and it's just not really working at the minute.
Final question. You need to get on the bus for another 6 hours to get home. Psychologically, how damaging do you think that could be, having got it back to 1-1 with 10 men and then lose it in the 97th minute?
I think there's a lot of pressure going into Wednesday's game at Shrewsbury. I think they've got to start. Well, they've got to score in the first 10, otherwise I think it could turn to fans easily getting on the players and the coach's back. I think there's been a lot of words probably said after by the manager, by the head coach, sorry. But I think, they've got to start fast on Wednesday now to try and win the fans back round quickly.
Not quite sure where Notts County go from here. I think it's fair to say the storm clouds are gathering with only 3 league games gone. You might call this an heroic defeat in a sense, given that Barrow netted a 97th minute winner after Notts had bravely fought back with 10 men. Matty Platt, having been brought on as a substitute, then had to leave the field injured, and Notts had already used their allotted number of substitutions in the game. Matthew Dennis appeared to have rescued the most unlikeliest of points for Notts with just 2 minutes to go. A lovely deft header from a cross by Cerula made it 1-1. 10 men Notts looked like they'd snatched a draw from defeat. However, in the 7th minute of stoppage time, a long far post cross was brought down, it bounced, and the Barrow player Shipley had enough time to put the ball into the net. Yes, it was a heartbreaking defeat, but this should not mask huge amounts of worries for Notts. They didn't play at all well. Yes, 20 minutes here and there in previous games, but the reality of today, and I was with obviously the Notts fans, they were very, very disappointed, very, very vocal. And I think some are already starting to mention the R word. They're getting worried, no two ways about that. Matty Platt not starting the game, but coming on as a second half substitute was a little bizarre, to say the least. The Jody Jones experiment in the 10 doesn't seem to be getting the best out of Jody. And to be honest, when Notts at 1-0 down and down to 10 men, looked a beaten and sorry side. Fair play, they got that goal and equaliser, but then to go on and concede a second goal deep in stoppage time, it'll be interesting to see how much psychologically that damages the players. There have been lots of changes, players in, players out. Fans quite rightly talk about Notts' identity, and what is it? Lots of loan players coming in, often preferred to previous senior players. Where do we go from here? Clearly, Alassane Jatta cannot come back quickly enough, but that's Bromley, and there's a game against Shrewsbury on Wednesday evening. We all know, no matter what anybody says, that the pressure on that in the opening 15 to 20 minutes will be immense. Notts 3 games in, have not got a win on the board, knocked out in the first round of the Carabao Cup, and in truth look to have regressed by several notches compared to last season. Let's not sugarcoat it. That's not to say it doesn't get turned around with 1 win against Shrewsbury on Wednesday, but we're kind of clutching at straws a little bit here. Today for me was a retrograde step, even than against Salford. Barrow had lost their opening 2 games, 3 games if you count the cup, don't forget. Yet the reality was Notts may have had 66% possession, 67% possession. Who cares? Who cares? This looks a disjointed Notts. This looks a Notts that's out of sorts. Desperately needs a result, but when you concede a 96th minute equaliser like that, psychologically, let's see how the players, the head coach and the club respond in these next 2 games. But right now, not good enough.
Counties remain, football's the game.